You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver media podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum, and The Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind.
Well, good morning and hello, kids. Welcome to season number 3 and episode number 44 of the Not Quite Daily Beaver Morning Show here on the Crier Media Network. For those moments when you want to get your winter's day started off right with a nice big bowl of piping hot beaver grizzly goodness. Sticks to your ribs kind of stuff for this, winter morning. Today, recording day is Wednesday, January 25th, 2023, and it's yet again going to be an unseasonably warm day with temperatures reaching 0 here at the Beaver Lodge on January 25th.
It's bizarre.
I'm finding this disturbing this year. But there will be some weather later on tonight with a small storm on deck for us. I'm your host, the Eager Beaver, pronouns he, him, he, Mr. Beaver, eh? And I'm as happy as can be that you, dear kids, have joined us this morning. Good morning, Kit Jen. Good morning, Kit Elaine. Good morning, Kit Kath needs a Snickers. Good morning, Kit Lazy Sunday with Wade and Doe. And, of course, good morning to our podcast's founding sponsors, the Peppermaster, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing and CanadianTarot.com. And, of course, absolutely of course, good morning to you, my brother, my friend. Good morning, Mr. Grizzly. How's your mental health today?
Good morning, Mr. Beaver. Mental health is pretty good today.
All right.
Yeah. There's always room for improvement, but I'm not going to lie. The idea of the storm coming has me excited because, as you can see by the scrolling Chiron, I'm excited about going skiing tomorrow evening.
Ooh. And
possibly on the weekend as well, if I can make it work time-wise. Got a lot to get done in the next couple of days, so I'm going to play it by ear. I'm going to have to skip out on my Scotch and cigar night this evening because I have a video project for my day job that I need to complete. And if I don't complete it tonight, that means I won't be able to ski until Saturday. So the pressure is on.
Ooh.
Self-imposed pressure, mind you, but, pressure nonetheless.
But, yes, not skiing is, that's just unacceptable.
This is what I say, right? So if I have to stay up till midnight tonight, I will. Just yet, when I get home from the office, because I'm in the office on Wednesdays, as you and these our fine friends who tune in to the program know. If I should get home around 5, a little after 5, I'll have a quick bite and then right back at it. And hopefully I can get it done. Most of the editing of the video is done, but right now I just have an audio issue that I'm trying to work out, and it's really gotten under my skin. So I worked on 10 o'clock last night and then finally said, I'm done. I got to take a break because I was getting frustrated and going nowhere. When the wheels start to spin and you're not making any forward progress.
Right.
We've all been there and done that at some point in our lives. So, yeah.
Yes.
So how about you? How's your brain doing today? Because, this is January 25th. This is Oligopoly Telecom Company Talk Day, right?
Oh, is it?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Well.
It's the day when these gentlemen get celebrated for taking $122 million in COVID labor subsidies than firing hundreds of employees. Yeah, it's the talking day for the phone company, which is also now a multimedia company because they have radio and television stations along with a television network for that matter, and they're television service providers. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's Let's Talk Day. I'm not going to mention the name of the company because I don't feel like giving them any free advertising. They already pay enough for it on their own. If they want us to advertise, they're going to have to pay us, and even then, I don't know. Would we accept money from them? I don't.
I don't know. That would be a weird one.
Yeah,
We'd have to
right.
discuss that one.
It really is a moral dilemma. Like, sure, if they offered us a lot of money, you and I would, you know, you. I don't know. In all honesty, I don't know if we would take it. And I'm saying that initially without having any offer present or anything like that. It's like if we could use the money to grow the network, get the message out of to Canadians, to more Canadians, to inform more Canadians, to keep the voting public well informed as to what's going on in this country, and how, as our slogan, democracy is something you do. We need to inform people of that. So if we were to be able to get something, right? It's a moral dilemma because I don't like the way they operate their business and how they treat their employees. And at the same token, they created this day. They didn't create the day. They created this slogan to get people talking about mental health. So, it's the devil you know and the devil you don't, I guess. The devil's in the details as always. But it is an important day in the message. The message of the day is important. Let's talk about mental health.
Mm-hmm.
It's an important message, and it's helped save lives because people are talking about it that never would. So hats off for the marketing. What they've done with it is a different
Hats
story
back on for
altogether.
the follow through.
Right. It was an individual, a friend of mine who successfully defeated breast cancer. Straight, by the way, said she spoke to execs at that company, and it was because an executive, a high up ranking executive at the company at the time, their spouse was suffering from severe mental health issues. And they decided that, 35 years ago, nobody talked about breast cancer. Like it was unspoken. Nobody discussed it. It's like so-and-so perished from breast cancer. We didn't talk about it. Now it's common. Run for the cure, walk for the cure, blah, blah, blah. Wear the pink ribbon. It's massive fundraising campaigns for both breast cancer and awareness and about how getting screened and so on and so forth. So this individual said, I want mental health to be taught in the same manner as breast cancer. Let's get rid of the stigma so people can openly discuss it. I'm like, okay, I'm all for it. I'm in. I'm done. But what, like I said, hats off for the aspect and hats back on for the follow through. So yeah. It's important today that we talk about it. And I did a show Monday evening for those of you who missed the live stream. I did an ASMR on Monday evening. If you want to check out the YouTube, it's there. I had a particularly difficult day. The morning started off wonderfully, and then the day went kind of south and sideways. And by the end of it, I was a bit of a mess. But I'm still here, and I'm smiling, and I'm telling you talk about health. Okay, that's my soliloquy for this morning.
All right. Well, to answer your question, yeah. To answer your question, before we do that, Kit Jillian and Kit Pete, my dear friend, good evening to you, where you are. To answer your question, I am doing very well. Short night, of course, because once every few weeks, our curling match with our men's competitive team starts at 9:20 p.m.
That's late.
So,
yeah, that is late.
Yeah.
That is late to start a sporting event, right?
Yeah. So I'm in bed late and then up early. Fortunately, as I've been mentioning the past few times, they have fixed the ice and things are going very, very well again.
Excellent.
Because there was a period of about 6 weeks that I was thinking of just like quitting the game because it was just not fun. Because you like throw a
Mhm.
rock and then it just decides it's going to go wherever it wants. So you're not actually playing the game. Yeah, and my men's Tuesday competitive league, since we went down a round because we a division, we have 6 divisions, so we're now in Division 4 because of that awful turn. But in the new division, we've won 2, lost 1, and tied 1. So we're second in the division. The top 2 go up, and there's 2 matches left.
Excellent.
So cheer for us. And in the doubles, where we were doing absolutely terribly, we were getting massacred every match because our rocks were just not behaving. So we had 3 matches left to not go down from B to C division, and we got a win and 2 ties, and the ties were against people that were pretty high up in the division, coming back from 3 points down both matches.
Cool.
So we stayed in B division by 1 point.
So, no relegation, but very close, right?
But very close, very close. So yes, a win and 2 ties in the last 3 matches saved us. I'm in a good mood. I had some wonderful time this weekend in Ottawa, of course. Time with you, time with the kids on our podcast, which is always good for the soul. Had dinner with my friend Katharina on Monday.
Oh, that's a lovely name.
Katharina.
Katharina.
Yes.
I've never heard that name before. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Is she Ukrainian?
She's, I think so. Her last name is Moscow.
Wow.
So, right.
We'll just let that one be.
Spelt differently.
Of course, yes.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure it might be. There's also some German in the family, so if I'm not mistaken. But
Because I
she's
have a cousin named Zinovia, so which is a very very traditional Ukrainian name. So Katharina, it's in that pantheon.
Katharina. Yeah, and it's Katharina. Yes.
Katharina. Yes.
Katharina. But she's a friend of mine from long, like early school days, and gorgeous. Probably Canada's most gorgeous librarian, as far as I'm concerned. Fierce, but a total
Single?
geek. Nah, soon.
Does she play for my team or your team? That's the question.
For yours.
Well, you should introduce her to me. Although she's in Kingston, so that wouldn't work. I don't do
No. She's not in Kingston. She's in Ottawa.
Oh, well, hey. Hello, Katharina.
Gorgeous, fierce, and like me, a total geek and goofball. So, we're very simpatico. We connect.
Cool.
So yeah, we had some dinner and catch up time, and then yesterday had a doctor's appointment, which I won't go into, but got some results, and I'm very, 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 very happy.
Good.
But they might actually be changing one of my medications because I've realized over the last year and a half that I have put on a not negligible amount of weight, and I don't know why that is, because my eating habits haven't changed and I've become more active.
Okay. I'm not a doctor. I don't even play one on television.
Yeah. So they're thinking that maybe one of the things that I'm on is contributing, so we're going to switch me off one and to something else and see what happens. But I'm literally right now at the most I've ever weighed in my entire life.
Oh my.
And not by a small amount. Pregnant.
Peace. Well, we would be defying the laws of everything, actually.
Well, hello, kids. I'm about to have a litter. Today, breaking news.
It's not possible.
Yeah.
This is my reaction.
Speaking of let's talk about mental health company Field, overall Field, the Roger Shaw merger that we talked about a few days ago. Apparently, the federal court has ruled that the Canadian Competition Bureau did not have a strong enough case. So they ruled that, yes, indeed, it would stifle competition.
Mm-hmm.
So the decision was wrong, but not enough to warrant a court's intervention. It doesn't meet the
Somebody got
threshold.
a payday. Somebody got a
Yeah.
payday.
Yes. So now it's one step closer, and it's pretty much on the minister's desk, and he's the one that gets the final approval or not. François Philippe Chopin. It's up to you. And I heard that out in Quebec, it looks like Videotron wants to buy something as well. Don't
Well,
remember the
so
name of it. Fido, is it?
no. The Fido's is a Rogers thing.
Yeah.
So what happens is part of the Shaw merger deal, a Shaw Rogers deal. The Competition Bureau said if it is allowed to go through, they have to sell their wireless division. So Shaw's wireless division is
Yes.
Freedom Mobile.
Freedom.
They'll sell it
That
to
one will be sold
Videotron.
to Videotron. Yeah.
Right.
That's
So
it.
that's my service provider for my phone, which was formerly Wind, which became Freedom when Shaw bought it. And I was really concerned that I was going to get folded into the Rogers family because I want nothing to do with them. I don't like their service. I mean, half the country was offline last July, right? More
Right.
than half the country, for that matter. So I was like, "Oh, this isn't good. And I'm still against the merger altogether because it's just going to eliminate choice. It's going to make bigger oligopolies." But Videotron actually has incredibly competitive packages, and this helps Videotron get their service across the country because right now
Right.
they're just Quebec and a portion of Eastern Ontario.
Right.
So if they were to buy Freedom Mobile from Shaw, I don't have a huge issue with that because Videotron's packages are very competitive in relationship to Freedom. Like my package, I get 65 gigabytes a month, and I think my bill is about, I'd have to look at it actually, maybe $70.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good package. Now, coupled into that price is also that I subsidize a new phone. Every 2 years I get a new phone. And I was going to buy it outright, but when I looked at the price tag and looked at my bank balance, I went, no, I'll just put it on my account. I'll stretch it out. Because I desperately needed a new phone because my other one was failing rapidly and I was only getting about 8 hours a day out of it.
Yep.
After a couple of years, the battery just diminishes, and changing the battery in a sealed phone, no, it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good question, Elaine. Freedom could very well end up in Quebec because they weren't allowed to set up shop there because Videotron had already established a bankhead. Is that what you got? Bankhead?
Bulkhead?
Anyway,
I
they'd
think it's
already established a footing because they'd already been around, and Freedom was not allowed to expand into Quebec. So whenever I go to Montreal, my phone goes in roaming mode the whole time I'm there. So yeah, that's entirely possible, Elaine. I think that could happen. Although I'm still very much against this whole Rogers-Shaw merger because it's just going to eliminate choice for Canadians.
Right.
It just builds the oligopolies bigger. So instead of having, out west you've got TELUS, Shaw, Bell, effectively, as your three service providers, because Rogers doesn't have a cable presence out west. They're mostly east. So if they buy Shaw, now Rogers is a cable service provider across the country, along with an internet service provider and a wireless provider, and it's not good.
Mm-hmm,
It's not good.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Good morning, Kit Mike H, and good morning, Kit Lee Ann. So nice to see you. It's been a while. Thank
I
you for
am
joining.
Batman.
There we go. A little bit of news that I caught. Well, first of all, I forgot to say, because we had the Lunar New Year, right?
Oh.
So Gong Hei Fat Choi.
Oh yes,
To
Gung
all
Hei
our
Fat Choi.
listeners. Yes, to all our listeners who celebrated. I hope
Wasn't
that
he
your
in the last
celebration-
Jackie Chan film? No, that's Chow Yun. That's Chow Yun Fat. I'm mixing them up. Fat's
Yeah,
from
yeah.
there though. So
Yes. So thank you. So yeah, I hope your celebrations were filled with love and laughter. And we have some Canadians of whom to be proud.
oh,
Yes. Number one, the Oscar nominations came out yesterday, and there are 8 Canadians, no less than 8 Canadians nominated this year.
so lay it on me, blah.
All right. So for the Canadian stuff, we'll get to there first, and then we'll talk in general if we need to. There are 2 films directed by Canadians who are nominated for Best Picture this year. One obviously James Cameron's Avatar: The Way of the Water, but Sarah Polley.
Oh, cool.
Yes, she has a movie out called Women Talking, and it got nominated for Best Picture. And that's only happened once before in history when the original Avatar was nominated alongside Jason Reitman's Up in the Air.
Right.
Yeah.
You Canadians.
Yes. Polly was also nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay, and if she wins, it'll be a first for a Canadian woman.
Oh, cool.
Canadian Domi Shi got a nomination for the animated feature Turning Red.
Oh, yes,
Which
yes.
was supposed to come out big in the movie theaters, but didn't so much because of COVID.
COVID,
But
yeah.
Sandra Oh does one of the voices in that.
And it takes place in Toronto.
It takes place in Toronto. Yes. And Domi Shi already has an Oscar under her belt. We actually talked about her on one of our early shows before we joined the network. She won for a short animated feature called Bao that people may have seen. It's a little bao bun. And it's basically
doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, it's really, really cute.
BAO.
BAO, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I was confused for a moment.
Yes. And then Danielle Roher didn't win, but got a nomination for a documentary feature called Navalny on Alexander Navalny.
I knew the name.
Putin has had. Yeah, he returned to Russia and
right.
And then basically Putin took him off the plane and put him back in jail right away. Yeah. The producer, Ina Fitchman, got a nomination in the documentary category for another documentary called Fire of Love. The National Film Board of Canada, reliable, got a nod to an animation duo named Wendy Tilby and Amanda Forbes, who had a short film called The Flying Sailor. And then, of course, Brendan Fraser, dual citizen. He was born in Indiana, but was raised by Canadian parents for a time in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
Got a Best Actor nomination for The Whale, and he's the first Canadian nominated in that category since Ryan Gosling in La La Land.
Gosling won that too, didn't he?
I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember him giving a speech about it. Or maybe that was a Golden Globe. I remember he gave a speech about winning an award for La La Land. How he's thanked his partner, Eva Mendes, for staying home to raise their child while he got off to sing and dance all day long. That was part of his speech. I just remember that because I thought it was kind of cute.
Oh. Yeah, I think he did win.
Yeah, I remember something along. He won. It was either a Golden Globe or an Oscar. I can't remember, but I remember that speech. Yeah, I do remember that well. That was a few years back, mind you.
Yeah.
So don't forget Eleganza.
So yeah, the movie I talked about a while ago, Everything Everywhere All at Once, is the leader in nominations. They got 11 or something.
Well, and both supporting actresses. I don't like saying. I don't like to. They're actors. They act.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee and
Stephanie Hsu.
Thank you, Stephanie Hsu. I couldn't think of her first name. I knew her surname. Of course, as supporting actors, Ki Kwan as lead actor, and of course my beloved Michelle Yeoh, who at 60 years of age doesn't look a day over 40, and is just. It's funny thing is in the movie she actually looks older than she does in real life.
Right.
Because they make her up to make her look older. I saw an interview with her recently. Prior to the Golden Globes, and it was just a one-on-one, close shot, tight frame camera shot, and I'm like, God, my God, that woman is beautiful. Like, doesn't look a day over 40. And somebody says she doesn't look a day over 30. I'm like, come on. Her skin is of that of a 20-year-old, but you look into somebody's eyes who has lived a life, and you can see experience and wisdom in their eyes. So to say she doesn't look a day over 30 is being ridiculous. She doesn't look a day over 40, though.
Yeah.
Because at 40, you've got some life behind you. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Ke Huy Quan is nominated Best Supporting Actor, actually.
Oh, supporting. Okay.
Yeah, and if you mentioned he was in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Short round.
Yeah, short round a long time ago. People who didn't see that may recognize him back in the day. He was also in Goonies.
That's right. Yes, he was.
Yes.
Well, and he's friends with, he and Brendan Fraser were good friends, and they just sort of reunited because they hadn't seen each other in a long time because they were together in Encino Man.
Ah, yes.
Right?
True.
Yeah. And I saw a round table recently where they were all sitting around talking about, how their careers have come full circle, and how Brendan got really emotional talking to Key, and vice versa. How, they've known each other all this time, and they both sort of got tossed aside for a number of years for
Yep.
whatever reason, and now they're back with a vengeance. Now,
Yep.
Brendan's, we all know. I don't know if everybody knows why he was sort of blacklisted for a number of years.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, he was sexually assaulted by a member of the Hollywood Foreign Press.
There you go.
And he went public with it, and nobody would hire him for a long time. So, hypocrisy much?
Yeah, really. And he's really, really happy because he received an award lately. I think it was the Critics' Choice Awards that came out, but he got one for Best Actor there, and gave a pretty emotional speech.
Go to the light. Go to the light.
Go to the light. Exactly. So yeah, and I think the Golden Globes, Michelle Yeoh and Ke Huy Quan, Ke Huy Quan, both won there.
They did, yes.
So and Jamie, the I don't know if you've seen it, but the photo of Jamie Lee Curtis really cheering for Michelle Yeoh. Yeah,
it's on a T-shirt.
Yeah, and apparently it's Jamie Lee Curtis's first ever Oscar nomination.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, with her entire body of work.
I did not know that.
I thought for sure she had
45 years.
She's called Wanda.
Yeah, 45 years she's been acting. Because I follow her on Facebook, and her posts are pretty frequent. She doesn't do Twitter, but she's on Facebook, and her posts are pretty frequent and really funny. I don't follow a lot of celebrities. I really don't, because most of them have nothing to say that's of any interest or add to the world in any positive manner. But she does. I follow her. I follow Pink, Halle Berry, because I'm in love with her.
I'm in love with Pink.
Right? I mean, come on.
She is
Not
so
only
bad.
is she a badass, she's just an awesome human being on top of it,
Right.
So
right. Yeah, for Ryan Gosling, it was the Golden Globe.
It was the Golden Globe. Okay.
It was
I remember the speech. I just couldn't remember which award it was. So.
Yeah. So I mean, holy crap! I mean, it's Canada Day at the Oscars.
Yes, it is.
Way to go. Way to go. A little more in the news of Canadians that make us proud. Skier Val Grenier, who we talked about a few weeks ago because she won a giant slalom race. I mean, it's not a fluke. She's finished 9th at a race in Cornplatz just yesterday. So she's just breaking up the top 10s here, there, and everywhere. She's it's just amazing. Eric Reed got an 18th at a slalom in Schladming in Austria. And then, of course, the biggest news probably in the world of sports for Canadians is that Brooke Henderson won the first LPGA golf tournament of the year. Already the winningest golfer in Canadian history, man or woman.
By a large margin, too.
By a large margin. Large
margin.
Large march.
It's a classic, right? It's a classic.
That's how I used to refer to Senator Marjorie Le Breton.
Large Marge?
Senator
Tell him Large Marge sent you. For those of you who don't know, Large Marge was a tertiary character in the Pee-wee's Big Adventure film. She was only on screen for a few minutes and had the memorable line of, "Tell him Large Marge sent you."
So yes, she basically what they call in golf led wire to wire. So I'm guessing that means beginning to end, like from the first round all the way to the fourth round. She's got let's see, it's her third time in her career that she's won from wire to wire, 13th time overall that she's won. And she's won 13 times at 25 years old already. She's already won 2 majors. It's just absolutely incredible. I'm trying to find the name of the event that she won. For some reason, they decided not to put it.
How old is Brooke? Is she even? I don't even think she's 30 years old yet. She's 25.
She is 25.
She's going to have a Tiger Woods-like career, probably without all the sexism.
Please tell me
philandering.
without all the sexism and philandering. That would be really nice.
I could be wrong. Maybe she's a
You could
freak.
be.
Tiger was. Nobody knew.
Yeah.
And hey, if
so
she's a freak, let her freak. Let her freak.
Yeah.
Let her freak on. She's not married, so she can do whatever she wants.
Yep. So the tournament she won is called the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions. It was held in the U.S. And when it was all over, she had a 4-stroke lead
Damn.
ahead of her closest rival.
Way to
She
go,
finished
Brooke.
at 16. So that was pretty darn impressive. And then we had another golfer. Male golfer this time, who did really well as well at another tournament, and I wish I could find it for you so that I could say it, but I can't. So
Don't.
I think I'm stuck. Oh, there we go. At the Corn Ferry Tour, the Bahamas Great Abaco Classic, we have a Canadian golfer who goes by Benjamin Silverman, who won that one with a -13, 2 strokes above his closest rival. So it was a great weekend for golfers as well. There you go. Lots to be proud of. Lots to be proud of. Do you have anything, Mr. Grizzly?
A couple of little things, actually. Because this is the Let's Talk Day, I'm going to pop up a couple of things on the screen here. This one here, I think, is pretty important because it goes along with imposter syndrome, which is anxiety induced. And I think this is good. It's a photo of a crayon and a pencil, and the crayon says, "I'm not sharp enough," and the pencil says, "I'm not colorful enough." Comparison destroys personality.
Yeah.
That's very true. And that does fall onto the mental health issue because it's usually induced by anxiety that cause you to compare yourself like that. And then for the opposite end of the mental health spectrum, I actually made a comment on this post the other day from Steve Paikin on, I don't know if you saw my post or not. So Steve Paikin, who is the anchor for...
The Agenda.
Thank you. I wanted to say Ontario Today, but I knew that was wrong. The Agenda on Ontario...
TV Ontario.
TV Ontario, thank you. Wow. My speaking mouth is not working good.
That's
so
why
in it, thank you. In it, he says, MPP Lisa MacLeod has bravely gone public with her mental health struggles. She'll be on the agenda tonight describing the difficulties of facing such a crisis while in politics. So my response was, there's nothing brave about coming forward with your illness. It's an illness. Millions of people have it. And this person responded to that tweet about Lisa MacLeod, finishing up and talking about how I finished my tweet. And I'm going to go right into this person's tweet. Candidate for PM of Canada 2, TOO, Mark in the City, at Mark in the City and on Twitter. Mental health issues are terrible. No one should celebrate. But lack of empathy can and should be pointed out. And it should be pointed at. She has a large salary, sick leave, and access to supports. Now imagine how the families feel, the ones Lisa told no. And where I'm going to double down on that is, I said the same thing effectively in a few different words, but I also added in having to go to work every day when you're suffering because you don't have sick leave or the supports to take the time you need to recover is brave. That's brave. Putting on a brave face and going to work every day when you're suffering internally and can't do a damn thing about it because your employer won't give you time off for mental health support. Oh, and if you live in the province of Ontario in your private sector, unless your private sector employer has a sick leave plan, and 99.9% of them don't, you might get 3 days a year. So if you're really suffering, you might have to take a vacation to try and recover.
Right.
And taking a vacation to recover from a mental health episode is not a vacation. It's sick leave.
Right.
But it's, do you know what I mean? You're robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Right.
And we need sick leave in this province. And I still can't believe after 3 years of COVID, because we're going into year 3 now, we still do not have paid sick leave in the province of Ontario. Still, after Doug said he'd give us the best one in North America.
Well, he also said he wouldn't touch the green belt. So
yeah, and that he'd put an iron ring around the long-term care homes. It was just the shareholders, not the residents. But yeah, he wouldn't touch the green belt.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, You get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for. And as he's a terrible employee, we need to fire his ass.
Yep. Kitland AM said both a crayon and a pencil together make a beautiful picture, and I agree with you. That's exactly what I was thinking. Is you do the outline and I'll fill in.
Yes.
Let's make some beautiful art together.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why everybody. It's this thing, right? I hear that Bo of the fifth column say often. You're sitting at home and you're wondering how it is that you can, get involved. Right? There's a storm that happens. How do you get involved? It's a pitch in your neighborhood. You don't like this law. You don't like what's happening on abortion. You'd like to expand access. What do you do? And everybody thinks,
I can't do anything.
I can't do anything. I'm just one person, or I don't have anything to contribute. Everybody has something to contribute.
Yep.
Everybody. Even if your contribution is stuffing envelopes, right?
It's a contribution, though. That's the thing. It's a contribution.
But everybody can do something, and everybody has something special, right? It's like, I just sit here and I make doodles. Well, like this, we need a poster. I just, I don't really have any skills. Like, what, you run a household. What, you got like 3 kids? Yeah, you keep them alive and get into school on time and whatnot. You could probably organize something or schedule something. Everybody has something. Everybody has a skill, has an ability, has something in their past or in their present that they have as a source of knowledge that can contribute. So it's just all you need to do is show up, and then somebody will find a spot for you.
Oh yes.
Like,
so we're going to have to wrap in a minute. I got 2 quick things. I'm going to post a link here in the chat that if anybody wants to read, it's a very in-depth Reddit, and Reddit's not a forum I care to endorse because I have a lot of problems with them. But this is a very in-depth discussion with scientific studies and documentation about UBI. And this was started back in 2012, I believe. 2012, yes. This thread started in 2012. And one of the individuals who pointed me in the direction of this has been studying UBI since 2009. And let's see, I have a little graphic here. Where did I put it? Oh, right here. I'll throw this graphic on the screen really quickly, and it talks about the observed effects of basic income. No social stigma, primary earners spend more time job searching, new mothers extend their maternity leaves, birth weights increase due to maternal nutrition, students focus on school, grades improve, hospitalization rates decline by 8.5%, reduced crime by 42%, and poaching 95%. Poaching? Okay. Home ownership rates increased 4 to 6%, more fresh fruits and vegetables consumed, slight decrease in alcohol and tobacco. It's a meta-analysis. Improved cognitive functioning and fewer behavioral disorders. Increases conscientiousness by 43% and agreeableness by 31%. Savings go up, debts go down. Increased self-employment by 301% and part-time employment by 17%. Those are just some bullet points from a very long web page on Reddit. That is the chat's in the link is in the chat. Have a look at it. Give us some feedback on it. So that was the one thing. And the second thing is we have an announcement coming, but let's save it till Friday. Do you think we should save it till Friday? Let's save it till Friday.
Yeah, let's save it till Friday.
Yeah, we'll save it till Friday. We have an announcement we'll let you know on Friday. We got a nice announcement. So
we had a little chat this morning before we went on the air.
Yeah, we have an announcement. We'll save it till Friday, so make sure you're here Friday morning from 7 a.m. onwards. We've got a great announcement for you. And that was my announcer voice.
I wonder if it's that Harry Potter thing. I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good.
Don't know. I don't know a damn thing about Harry Potter. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I think something they had to swear. I think it was the Marauders map or something like that. They had a map that would show where things were going, but they had to swear that they were up to no good for the map to show.
No idea what you're talking about. Not a clue.
Kit Ladev goes, "You two are such teases." Just gonna show a little leg. All right, kids. I had to raise that. I had to raise the pants all the way up to my kneecaps almost to get the leg in the frame, though.
Little leg, eh? I got a little leg for you. There's a little leg.
There's a little leg. That's a lot of leg. That's a lot of leg. There's a lot of leg in that photo, all around. It's almost all legs in that photo. Legs and smiles, legs and smiles.
Especially from my one friend, and I'm not going to say anybody's names, but the one on the far right foreground, or
Mhm,
far the one closest to us in the foreground with the gray bikini, she
mhm.
is 6 foot tall. So
Oh
yeah,
wow,
yeah,
that's a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
leg.
Yeah,
Definitely.
she's long, very long legs, very long legs. We sit down, I'm taller than her. We stand up, she's my height. So
Yep. Paul's announcements are triggering, says Kit Leanne. Well, kids, that's the end of this episode of Just a Nibble. Well, no, not well. Yeah, it is just a nibble
yeah,
today.
it's
The Not
45
Quite Daily
minutes.
Beaver podcast. Yeah, if it's under an hour, it's a nibble. That's my rule now. We hope you love listening to us because we love making this for you. Because democracy is something you do. Um, why not
Do
just
it.
well, yeah, just do it. Like
Mhm.
make like the Greek goddess Nike and just do it. But yeah, just is there anything that has your passion? Is there anything that's calling to you like this? Send an email, make a call, find out, reach out, see
Get
if you can be
involved.
useful somewhere. Yeah, yeah.
And stealing a
If you
line from a 90s movie, talk hard.
talk hard,
Remember that?
yes.
Pump up the volume. Canadian director.
Yes, yes. If you really like this podcast, you can find us anywhere on Crier Media Network, as well as anywhere you get all your podcasts featuring a grizzly bear and a beaver. Please share the podcast, and we love your feedback. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and our email is truenortheagerbeaver@gmail.com. Twitter, you can find us at TrueEager. You can subscribe to us via our podpage.com/the True North Eager Beaver with a hyphen between each one of those words. And if you really, really like this podcast and wish to encourage us to do more, as Kit Linda has and as Kit Kathy has recently, well, we work for tips. Please feel free to buy a cup of coffee for Mr. Grizzly here or a mug of hot chocolate for me via our coffee page at ko-fi.com/eagerbeaver, all in one word, lowercase letters. That's ko-fi.com/eagerbeaver. And finally, if you'd rather get something for your money, well, we've got you covered literally with Eager Beaver merch. We have 6 designs to choose from in sizes small to 3XL. So please go to the Crier Media website, Crier, CRIER.co. Look for the shop button or take the one that's now in the Chiron because we have now updated it, and find the True North Eager Beaver, and you will find Mr. Grizzly Civics tees and Eager Beaver tees. Let the world know that you are an engaged citizen and increase your sex appeal by 38.2% instantly. It's true. It happens because you're all sexy things. Don't let anybody tell you different. All right. From the Beaver Lodge, this is your Eager Beaver saying, until next time, dear kids, it could be a tough world out there, so please be kind to and gentle with yourself. Mr. Grizzly, we need your words of wisdom.
Take it easy out there today because we are getting 20 to 30 centimeters of snow throughout southern and eastern Ontario. So if you're going to go out and shovel later today, because the snow hasn't really started yet, but once it does, if you're going to go out and shovel, take your time, take your breaks. We don't want anybody to have an MI, myocardial infarction. We don't want anybody to harm themselves. And remember, there's always a kid down the street who might be interested in earning a couple of bucks to shovel. So, if you can throw a kid a couple of bucks to shovel your driveway, by all means. Otherwise, if you have to go out on the roads, drive safe, be careful, be cautious. Don't think, I've got all-wheel drive and winter tires, I'll be good. No, 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 no. Slippery is slippery, period.
Yep.
Period. So be careful.
Yep. Be careful, absolutely. Kit BB says, thank you for sharing helpful info. We have a new name, Kit Dean Savage. Thank you for joining us. Have a good one, guys. And if I've missed you, I'm sorry, but thank you for joining us. And we'll see you soon.
So remember to hit the subscribe button. And as Elaine says, smash the like button. Here we go.
The True North Eager Beaver podcast is an Eager Beaver Mr. Grizzly collaboration. Research, story, and guest curation and copy written by the Eager Beaver. Recording, production, editing, and additional research by Mr. Grizzly. Music courtesy of Ben Sound Royalty Free Music. Once again, thank you to our founding sponsors, the Peppermaster, the Miss Fee Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing and CanadianTarot.com, And thank you to Pete Jarvis for our artwork. We love it. Kits, we'll talk to you real soon. Bye.
Take care.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.
You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver media podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum, and The Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind.